Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a strange week of issues with white people and animals. I see that video and I have so many questions. Number one, was this real? Was it a prank? Because how did the bear get in the car? That's number one. Where's the footage, since they've got that camera, of where the bear got in the car and how? That's number one. But we've also got other videos this week, folks, of where we've seen why white people don't think that Black lives matters, because animal lives matter more to them. Take a look at this shit right here. Godfrey did a review on.
Oh, come on, everybody. You know what the deal is. She fucking that horse. She fucking that horse. She too comfortable. The horse is basically almost eating her ass. And she's like, stop, get off. Still sticking her ass out. You would think she would shift to the other side or something. Or move out and go, hey, stop that. No. She digging that shit. Oh, yeah. That's what you call horseplay. And the horse is like, yeah. Every time you rub my shit under there, you see it, the horse's leg is up. Like, oh, shit. She doing something under there for that horse to be eating her ass out. Yeah, she definitely that horse. You like that?
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, that's why Black lives don't matter to those type of white people, because the animal lives matter more, because they get to freely do whatever they want to them and know that the animal can't say nothing. And we've all had, most of us have had dogs, puppies, stuff like that. And we know that animals love to go sniffing behind the most stankiest booties possible. They love sniffing behind the booty hole where the stuff comes out. And as you can see, that horse was not only smelly, that horse was in it, okay? That lady probably just got off the toilet. She know how that horse wanted. And like Godfrey said, did you see the way that horse was raising his leg every time it got good to him? Folks, that's just a microcosm of what's going on while we live in Trump's America. And on today's show, we ain't even got to the intro yet. We've got several crazy videos that show how Mighty Whitey has tried to put things in our society in place to divide us and keep us from reclaiming the power that we have. It's the Lamont Tyson Life Game Show. Let's go.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
That's right, everybody. You're in the building with the all-knowing, all-loving, all-feeling, all-seeing, all-powerful, all DEI, all woke. Just damn all everything, sexy as hell host. That is me, Lamont Tyson, bringing you guys Lamont Tyson's live YouTube show, Politics of Being Black, where what we do on this show is we go through all the different myths that have been put in place by rich white people to keep the middle class and lower classes at bay so that we don't rise up and take the power, that we have the chance to take the power, but because we stay at each other's throat over things that they use to divide us, we never do. And today, folks, I've got a lot of Supreme Court stuff, so that might bore you, but just hang in there. I will try to make it as entertaining as possible. Of course, we've got Karens going wild and how they just think that they're entitled to everything on earth beyond what African Americans hold. And folks, we've got some issues with Trump and his damn circus that is not working. Nobody's showing up, and we'll get all into that right now. But first, folks, let's start with Megyn Kelly. I didn't get a chance to talk about this last week, so we're going to do it this week. Megyn Kelly, amongst other racist folks, is just letting their racism just come out broad daylight because Trump gives them a license to do it. And if you got enough money and power, you don't care about offending anyone because you feel like you got enough FU money, you can get away with it. So listen to what Megyn Kelly said about our good Haitian brothers and sisters. And this would make me want to say something to the Haitian brothers. Every Haitian brother I know that I have personally met, it's about 5 of them, they all with white women. Now, mind you, these white women are the progressive-minded white women. They're not the Megyn Kellys. But my Haitian brothers, when you see this, does this not give you cause to pause sometimes when you hear these white women say this type of stuff, listen to what this bitch had to say. And speaking of horses, these type of women always, the Megyn Kellys of the world, always want to denounce our beautiful black sisters because they put weave in their hair. I don't understand how Megyn Kelly and any of these women can run their mouth when it looked like they robbed that very horse that was licking that white woman's butt. Here we go.
Been going on for over a dozen years. Go home. Get out. We know our country's better than yours. That's because we filled it with our work ethic and our culture and our values. You being here only dilutes it for us, those who built it and live it. And half of you people, more than half, you won't assimilate. We don't want you. We don't care if you're offended. Get out. Go home. Go back to fucking Haiti. Sorry. I'm thinking about our friends in Ohio who've been dealing with these.
Go home. Go back to fucking Haiti. Does she not understand that this country was robbed from the natives that was already here? How would she feel if they got on a podcast and said, you Europeans, go home, get the fuck out of my country, assimilate? How would she feel if the natives really and truly came out and said that? Because they would be in their right to say it if they wanted to. Your people, Megyn Kelly, came here. Y'all didn't find this land. The land found y'all. The land was already here. Y'all commandeer a place that already had people here that wasn't immune to your diseases, that thought you people were good people, and y'all robbed them, pilloried them, stole their science to make your crops, and done every dastardly thing you could do to them and took their land. Then you gave them little small complexes to say, hey, now that we've taken over what you helped us take over, that you gave us, if you want to stay here, we'll give you little tribes and we'll let you have your own little jurisdictions, but we're not giving it all back to you. That's what her ass sounds like, folks, telling Haitians to get out of here and assimilate. Okay. This country tried to redo the sin of stealing it from the natives by allowing it to become a melting pot of diversity and a melting pot for other individuals to come here to help make it great. Somewhere along the lines, these white men who were lazy as hell, that did not want to do laborers' work, felt like, okay, well, if I don't want my people to do laborers' work, I better allow people from other countries to be able to come here and do this labor work so that they can fight to stay here. And when we speak of the Haitians and what they're doing in Ohio, a lot of the Haitians work in the healthcare field in Ohio legally. And y'all just want to take their asses up out of here because you're fucking racist. And for someone like Megyn Kelly, it is not robbing her of any single resource. In fact, I would say we need to keep her away from the Kentucky Derby. Unless y'all want to start seeing a whole lot of horses that lose their manes, we need to keep her ass away from anywhere that they have horses. Hell, we need to keep her away from black minorities, period, because you see how she feels about it. That sentiment that Megyn Kelly had, ladies and gentlemen, is her sentiment toward black people. It's just that she was able to center this around Haitians. She centered it around them. So you guys let me know what you think. We know what it is, Megyn. We know what it is. And we are going to continue to fight against people like you until we get you guys back into the hole you came from. And maybe this time America put a rock on top of that hole. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we've got this fiasco that's supposed to be the Trump fair going on in D.C. with the Ferris wheel and everything. And folks, the Ferris wheel is not even working there. It's not. And they keep showing coverage of it from an up high perspective so that you don't look down low and see that there's nobody there. Well, they got a hold of a congresswoman and they asked her, what do you think about this Trump fair? And her answer, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to make you laugh. Take a look.
Congresswoman, why do you suppose no one is showing up to Donald Trump's 250th party on the National Mall?
You know, it's hard to be patriotic when we are dividing our country, and he is using this as a platform for his hate and cruelty, so people don't get inspired by such nonsense.
No, most people aren't inspired by such nonsense. Now, mind you, even though she did say that, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to be honest. There is about a third of this country that is inspired by hate, complete hate. And those that side with MAGA that might not be hateful, they are willing to capitulate to those that are hateful and still side with it. So either way, you're wrong. It don't matter how you shake it up. And nobody is turning out to that affair because there are bigger issues going on in America. The price of everything. You can't even get a pound of beef in certain places where it's as cheap or the same price as minimum wage. Literally, you have to work more than an hour to get a pound of beef. Literally. So why would they show up to your bull job? The Ferris wheel doesn't work. The stuff at this fair are, I heard, astronomical in cost. And not to mention, people got to get hotels, they got to drive, they got to do all. Nobody's showing up for this. This is not the country they want. But what scares me, ladies and gentlemen, as much as we talk about these individuals who will choose hate rather than food on their plate, no matter how hard it gets for them, the folks who are even-minded, who are right-minded, who understand what's going on, they're getting slaughtered too, financially. And what always bothers me is I don't understand how these MAGA folks are so supportive of socialism using the government's money for corporations that create the economic disparities we have right now. And they have all these excuses they like to put in place. Oh, it's inflation. It's too many dollars in the market. They love to use all this bull job excuses. But when it comes time to they need to supplement your income to keep up, they're not trying to do that shit. And MAGA folks don't seem to understand it. And I think that part of the issue we have is that our educational system is put in place to keep people stupid and dumb and not understanding that socialism is socialism no matter who uses it, whether it's the American people, whether it's the corporation. And if you're really going to make this thing called capitalism work, socialism is better served for the American people than it is a billion-dollar corporation that doesn't need any help. So folks, post your comments and let me know. Are you going to the Trump fair anytime soon? I know I sure the hell ain't. I ain't going no time soon. Fuck it. Now we get to some of these Supreme Court rulings, ladies and gentlemen. Some was in the favor of democracy. Some wasn't. Let's start with a few that wasn't. Let's take a look at this one.
New York Times, Supreme Court yesterday allowed the Trump administration to block asylum seekers at the U.S.-Mexico border by physically preventing them from crossing into the U.S. as they seek protection from prosecution. Josh.
That one is so heinous, ladies and gentlemen. It's so heinous. And what's heinous about it is as we're seeing that, we're also seeing them let in white Christian nationalists from South Africa under the same guise. What is the difference? One is brown people, one is white people. Both are trying to flee oppression. And the bigger issue is that oppression is now sitting in the White House. That's what makes this situation so bad. It used to be you're fleeing other nations to come here, do the best you can to work your way into American life and be a productive citizen. But now when you flee another country, you're definitely coming here to oppression. And what makes that even worse is that the oppression we're getting in America is not even as bad as the oppression you're fleeing. It's just a cluster F, either way you look at it. But to deny these people, folks, is to deny the very lifeblood America claimed it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be the beacon on the hill for people that want to come here and be protected. We're supposed to be the beacon on the hill for democracy. We're supposed to be that place you come to where you know that you don't have to worry about looking over your shoulder for an oppressive government coming to get you because we're going to help you. And now, south of the border in Mexico, people could be an inch away from getting over here fleeing the people that are doing them wrong. And America's going to say, nah, you can't get over here. It's a sad ruling right now, folks, but that's not going to last long. We'll figure out a way to get around that bull job. And I go back to how this country started. We took this land from somebody. Don't you ever forget that. We took this land, and for those of you that would say, well, you know, we gave them pieces of their own land back. And I hear that a lot from racist people that tell me to shut up about how Europeans took this land from natives because they gave them, you know, Native American reserves and stuff like that. And they will say that with their chest out. But the minute I say, okay, well, there's another group of people you done wrong and you ain't gave us shit. The slaves, the descendants of slaves, the African Americans, we need reparations. All of a sudden, they get white as Casper the Ghost and they shut the hell up. Let's see what else the Supreme Court did this week, folks.
The United States Supreme Court sided with the maker of Roundup weed killer, blocking thousands of lawsuits alleging it failed to warn users the product could cause cancer. Josh.
This was an opinion by our favorite asshole, Brett Kavanaugh, who we spoke about yesterday with Susan Collins, I believe. The worst part about this case, the part that's mind-blowing, is that the court never even addressed the issue as to whether or not Roundup causes cancer, but rather it dealt with who gets to decide what warning label goes on the product. Now, how insane is that? The EPA granted Roundup's label without a cancer warning, and thus the court said that a state jury can't turn around and punish the company for not adding the proper label, claiming that federal law preempts state law. So think about that. And the result of this ruling will be that 200,000 plus claimants who are sick cannot proceed with the lawsuit against this company. I would dare to say that large corporation capitalism is at stake here. Money's at play here. That's got to be part of the reason. But it's just another setback for common day-to-day people. A lot of these people are sick. They have cancer. Now they have no recourse.
Folks, this is pathetic. These people that sit in these courts, make these laws, all run around pretending that they're Christians. You're supposed to have sympathy, apathy, love. There is no love in this rule. And like he said, they didn't even address the fact that this stuff is cancer caused. They just said, to hell with that. We're not even going to look at that, so that you can't put that on us, right? We're not even going to look at that. And now all these claimants that are suffering, high medical costs. And remember, medical bills is one of the biggest things that causes bankruptcy, divorce, tragedy, all kinds of stuff, financial ruin in this country. And now these people that have, through no fault of their own, gotten cancer because it was not warned to them properly in the labels of this company, and it was never told to them. The company's about to get a slap on the wrist. Nothing happens to them. They done made their money. Now they can change. Folks, it's pathetic. It is pathetic. This is what happens when you get a racist oligarchy in power to serve nothing. Okay, they cutting grass. This is what happens when you get a racist body at the head of the organization of America, the presidency, to serve rich people. This is what they want. And at the end of the day, folks, the constructs that rich people put in place are to divide the middle class and poor so that we don't uprise with our vote and get the type of socialism that they're getting to uplift their businesses that we should be getting to uplift our lives. And that's why we've got to find a way to come together. Now, will we ever be able to come together with some of those racist a-holes? No, because they don't want to come together, and that's fine. But we are peeling away some people who are starting to see, you know what? I might not hate Black people, but I do hate starving. Okay? We're starting to get some of them. And the more we can come together to get socialism to be for the benefit of us and not corporations, the better we'll be. Here's the final ruling, folks. A good ruling, actually, this time on birthright citizenship that came from the Supreme Court. Take a look at this.
The justices have upheld birthright citizenship. The Supreme Court upheld birthright citizenship, striking down President Trump's executive order in Trump versus Barbara. Chief Justice Roberts authored the opinion of the court, joined by Justices Sotomayor, Kagan, Barrett, and Jackson. Justice Kavanaugh concurred in part and dissented in part, while Justices Thomas, Alito, and Gorsuch filed dissents. And basically, what these justices who dissented said, it is okay for a president to come in and by executive order change the Constitution and the law. That's how close we are to losing this democracy in every way. And for those of you who don't follow the Supreme Court, because it's normally really boring, Alito and Thomas tell you nonstop, nauseatingly, how they are strict constitutionalists, yet they are willing to take the Constitution, wad it up in a ball, and throw it in the trash can. So let's hear what Trump's unhinged response to this ruling is. Trump says on Live Social, the Supreme Court upheld birthright citizenship, which is too bad for our country. But we can easily make it up in Congress through legislation with the support of the president that has now been determining the process. No long and unwielding constitutional amendment is necessary. Congress should start today to work on ending expensive and unfair to our country birthright citizenship. They will have my complete and total support. And if it's one thing I don't have to worry about is the Republican-controlled House and Senate doing anything to govern. So I'm not worried about this necessarily because they're so ineffective, but just that Trump is so he's so easy just to say, if you're black and brown, fuck you. We don't give a shit about you. Yet.
Exactly. If you're black and brown, go in the ground to hell is what Trump be saying. And before I get on my rant, let me just shout out everyone who's watching me today. Thank you for everyone. Someone is watching from Nova Scotia. I appreciate you. And whenever you watch the shorts I upload, always go to the video description so that you can see the original creator and give them some love, give them some support. My size on YouTube has allowed for me to repost some of their content and help them get some generation going and their wheels spinning. And you can also look at the top pinned comment for their links as well. And just thank you all for showing up. I think I'm going to start trying to do my show 3 p.m. a couple of times a week because that's kind of in between lunch. It's before the nighttime folks get going, kind of keep you guys entertained. But birthright citizenship, ladies and gentlemen, since I do have an audience that goes outside of America, I think it's great that we go ahead and first understand why did we have birthright citizenship in the first place? For those that don't know, because they oftentimes don't teach it, what every amendment was put in place for in school. So let's take a look at it. After slavery, America wanted to make sure formerly enslaved people were recognized as full U.S. citizens. The 14th Amendment says that people born in the United States are citizens. It was created so that states could not deny citizenship based on race or family background. The goal was to stop discrimination and make citizenship a constitutional right, not something politicians could easily take away. And that is still the meaning of it to this day, folks. You get to this country, you deliver a baby, that baby's a citizen because you was born on this soil. End of story. Cut and dry. And that ruling was 5-4, folks. That's too close. There is no, gerrymandering, mental word salad gymnastics you can do in your brain to go against what is on paper. And to change that, folks, you would need 2/3 of the states. You would need 2/3 of the House, 2/3 of Congress and Senate in order to even broach that. So it's never going to happen no time soon. In the same way, we need to do something about the Electoral College for president. You would need all that to do that too, and it's not going to happen. But what we can do is continue to educate people on why we have these things. And when issues surrounding them come up that could put them in jeopardy, we need to talk about it. And that's what we're doing here. Trump tried to write an executive order to stop birthright citizenship. Executive orders, folks, are not necessarily law of the land. They're what the president wants, and you can abide by it until it goes through the justice process. And it just went through the justice process, and they said no. I thought that they was going to let it go. I did. I didn't think they was going to uphold this, but they did. I don't know how, but somehow they did. But it was still too close, folks. It was way too close for me. And it's frustrating that we are dealing with this type of country. We're in a place right now where folks don't even want to come here and visit, ladies and gentlemen, because of what we have in leadership. So post your comments. Let me know what you think about the birthright citizenship. And last but not least today, folks, we've got a Karen video for you. These Karens across America, they're entitled asses. They bougie entitled asses. Some of them don't. Some of them ain't even bougie, but think they bougie. Here's another one with her dogs. Remember, animals and the freaky things white folks do with animals has been a theme in this video. Take a look at this.
I'm a menace to society for being black? Wow. Oh, I can't wait for them to find your actual name and all your information all over the internet. I can't wait for this to go viral. Sad. Go ahead. Repeat what you just said. So you saw a black woman sitting in her car.
Race card.
No.
That's crazy.
Ma'am, I don't have a single drug in this car.
Oh really?
I don't.
know. I don't care.
I don't.
I saw you.
Okay, now I'm gonna give you one chance to walk away. I'm gonna give you a chance to walk away. Go ahead, you can take it down. I'm gonna give you, yeah, and I have this, and I'm gonna post this.
Okay.
You're going to go viral. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. You saw a black woman sitting in her car and automatically assumed I'm on
I
drugs.
didn't even know you were black. I just saw somebody.
I'm gonna ask you to separate yourself from me, please. Please walk away.
And you're in the car.
I
That's not cool.
haven't had a single drug.
Yes, you have.
I haven't had a single drug.
Wait, I already called the cops. So.
Okay, please. No, actually, ma'am, stay, please. I would love for you to wait for them with me. God bless you and have a great day. I pray you are able to be forgiven for your judgment and your sin. I'm a menace to society for being black. Wow. Oh, I can't wait for them to find your actual name and all your information.
So clearly, folks, we don't have all the whole data. But what we can deduce, the lady clearly said this woman was on drugs. That is a trope that they associate with black people forever. You know, think Chris Rock when he was on New Jack City, Pookie doing drugs. Think anybody you want. They always associate black people with being drunks, doing drugs. Then the lady tried to say, when the chick checked her on being black, she tried to say, oh, now we're going to bring race into it. No, bitch. You came up here harassing me. I'm sitting in the car. Like, I don't understand. Even if the chick was doing drugs in her car, parked on the side of the road, you walking your dogs, keep it pushing. Call the police from a distance. Why are you stopping to try to be the fucking police? You know, that's what I mean when I say they become emboldened nowadays. They feel like they are He-Man or some shit, and they can interrogate you, stop you, judge, jury, executioner. If this woman really was doing drugs in her car and you called the police, why are you trying to confront her? Seriously. You call the police, keep it moving, wait for the police to get there, then you come back. But no, you got to be tough. You got to try to show off with your pansy dogs that probably sniff you between your legs too, and bother this woman who's apparently doing nothing but minding her own damn business. Ladies and gentlemen, the way you deal with Karens and Kens, get them on camera, of course, but also hold their feet to the fire. Let them know that you're not a force to be reckoned with, and you're not going to tolerate their insolence, basically, is what you're not going to do. So, folks, post your comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe. For those of you that don't know, I do put these videos on a podcast. Link is in the description. I do trade stocks every day. I haven't been there this week at this channel. Win by losing in stocks. I've been sick earlier in the week, so I haven't had a chance to get up there and do my thing, but I'll be back tomorrow. And if you ever decide that you want to learn how to do stocks, you can get a one-on-one with me in that link up there at the very top. Let's keep on trying to push democracy, folks. See if we can help save this country. And until that next Sex is Hell video, I'm out.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.